Oh me, oh me. Well, we are y'all ready now?
We better be. That's all I gotta say.
Are y'all ready?
Ready.
If you're tired and you know it, raise your hand.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes,
It's
okay.
all good. It's all
All right, okay.
good. Here we go.
Well, here we are, and coming back into your place of viewing. My name is Pastor Steve Cape, and this is my lovely wife to my left, Wanda.
Hey, everybody.
And this is our oldest daughter, Heather, to her left.
Yes, this is me.
And so that's her over to the left. We're sitting on the back porch of our home here in Hickson, Tennessee.
Trying to come to your view and encourage your heart today.
Yes.
You got that right.
We cannot tell you what take this is, and we're not exactly sure how others are able to do it the first time around. But we have a very tough time
That's
doing
right.
this.
Oh, yes.
We sure do. We sure do. But what we want to do the very first thing is we want to sing a song to you.
You got it
And
right.
it's called Why Complain About the Problem? Rejoice in Opportunity, okay? It goes like this. Why complain?
Why complain about the problem?
Rejoice
in opportunity. You have a chance to grow in grace.
Take full
responsibility. The reward is worth the suffering. There's glory some sweet day. Praise God for the problem on your way.
Your problem is an instrument. It's tailored in just your size. It may be a heaven sent opportunity in disguise.
So why complain?
Why complain about the problem?
Rejoice
in opportunity.
You have a chance to grow in grace.
Take
full responsibility. The reward is worth the suffering. There's glory some sweet day. Praise God for the problem on your way. The problem you will solve today surely will come again. It may count it joy, and you will say that you're glad you had it then.
So why complain?
Why complain about the problem?
Rejoice
in opportunity. You have a chance to grow in grace. Take full responsibility. The reward is worth the suffering. There's glory some sweet day. Praise God for the problem on your way. Praise God for the problem on your way. Now, folks, we don't claim to be very good singers. We don't sing because we think we can sing, but we sing because we can't help but sing. And God's been very, very, very good to us. And again, as I said to you a moment ago, we're here on our back porch, and you can hear the birds. They're chirping, and we've got a woodpecker. He's out here, been knocking on some of the woods and the trees in the woods as well. But we are very grateful and thankful that you've tuned in today, and it is our desire to be that encouragement to you. So why complain? We're to rejoice in an opportunity. This, of course, is Thankful for Thursdays Day, and we want to share another principle that we have learned on how to keep your spirit healthy when your health isn't, or your loved one's health isn't. So, Miss Kate, can you give us what is one of those principles?
Principle number 8 in our booklet is encourage someone else who is hurting. And all you have to do when you are going through a tough time is to look either to your right or to your left, and you're going to find someone else who has it a little bit worse than you do. That's just the way that it is. And it will help you so much if you'll focus in and do something nice or something thoughtful for someone else that you know is going through a tough time also.
Yes. Now, the Bible tells us in Galatians chapter number 6, for every man shall bear his own burden. You know, so many times people want to be rid of their burdens. Ask, Lord, take away my burden. Whereas it is the Lord who wants to give us the grace and the strength to help bear our burden. If you'll remember again, that's what the Lord said to Paul, he said, "My grace is sufficient for thee." And then the Bible also tells us, however, in Galatians 6 and verse 2, bear ye one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. So it is God's plan, it is God's will that you and I bear the burdens of other people. And there are many people who are hurting in different ways, and one of the best ways to help ourselves, yes, we're to cast our care upon the Lord, for he careth for you. But God's also given us another way to help to bear our own burdens, and that's to help to encourage somebody else along the way. And my wife said you can send a card to someone, or flowers, or to share the gospel with someone else. Or even today, I'll just tell you this, Heather had her second doctor's appointment for the week. And Miss Kate, tell us about where you and Heather went and who we got to see today.
Okay. Heather's been having some trouble with her left hip in the incision area. She had her hip replaced back in 2013, and she'd been having some trouble with pain. So we got an x-ray at the beginning of the week, and then they were able to get us in to see her surgeon, which we were very excited about. We only had to wait 2 days for that. But she was able to see him today, and when we got to the hospital, there's only one entrance that you can go into the hospital right now. They're screening everybody, and we had our masks and our gloves on, and they checked us for fever, and then the lady proceeded to tell me that she would wheel Heather to her appointment, that there were no visitors allowed. And we had some discussion, and I told her that Heather only has one side of the brain, and she's not able to go to her appointments by herself. She must have her caregiver. And there was more discussion. The doctor's office was called, so about 30 minutes of waiting. But then I was able to wheel Heather to her appointment myself and be able to go with her with that. And we were able to see Dr. Freeman, so that was wonderful. Very scary, though, I have to admit.
Yes, of course, during that time frame, I spoke to my mother on the phone. She said, "You do know at this time, going to the doctor is very dangerous, and especially at the hospitals." And of course, I said, "Yes, we understand that, but we're taking all the precautions because we want to make sure, again, that she is well." But one of the things that you were able to do for Dr. Friedman today is give him one of Heather's a copy of Heather's film. He was very excited to receive that. And again, we hadn't seen him in probably 7 years, and about a year or so after she had had her hip replacement, which, by the way, she had to have that done because of a vascular necrosis, another rare disease that she has that was medically induced because of the Rasmussen's that she has that caused all the seizures. And but gave Dr. Freeman that DVD, and he was very excited about it.
Yes, he was.
And his wife is a nurse to neurosurgeon. And he said, "We're going to watch this tonight." So we were able to encourage him, and he was encouraged by seeing Heather. While they were inside, let me just tell you, we're all concerned about different things. I'm out in the parking deck, and I heard what sounded to be something that was taking place and happening. And so I cracked my window a little bit to hear something, and to see if somebody needed some assistance. But I found out it was okay. Well, I forgot to roll my window back up, and within just a moment, I saw a reflection in my mirror to the left, and here was walking a nurse or someone in the medical field that was walking right past the car. And about the time she got to my window, she sneezed, and I thought, "Oh my goodness!"
She didn't have a mask on.
No, she didn't have a mask on. Neither did I
Shame.
either. So anyway, but they're okay. I know we're okay. Everything's fine. But God is very, very good. We went from there, and we drove through another place, and we got to see somebody else. Who's that person?
We got to see one of Heather's CNAs that was with us when Heather had her hip replaced. Her name was Jill. We got to speak to her for a few minutes. Actually gave her some booklets to be able to give to one of the doctors to be able to pass out to some of the patients. And then from there we went across the street to where Siskin Rehab Center is. And walking to the car was one of Heather's main physical therapists, who happens to be in her film, David Barron. And he was so encouraged to see Heather. And she rolled the window down, and we told him she had been to an orthopedic appointment. He said, "Oh, you're just out sharing joy with somebody else, aren't you, Heather?" So that was encouraging to hear from him.
Yeah, and for that to even be said, out sharing joy with someone else, and here she has been, again, to the doctor herself. And so, folks, again, all of us have ups and downs. All of us have mountaintop experiences and deep, deep valleys. And especially at this time of our life, there are sure people that are experiencing problems with the coronavirus, but there are also people that are experiencing problems with death, other reasons of death in people's lives, or heart attacks, or cancer, leukemia, other problems too. And then, of course, the medical staff that's going through so much themselves, and then being separated from their own family. And then to think again about the family members in the hospitals that cannot have a visitor. And they're there in the hospital without a spouse being able to be by their side, or a child being able to be by the parent's side, or the parent been able to be by again another loved one, as well. So it is a difficult time, but there are different ways again that God gives us to be able to bear one another's burdens. We're not to complain about the problems that God brings into our life, because God has a plan and God has a purpose, and He wants us to follow that plan. Christian, run to the Word of God every single day. Seek His face in prayer. And ask God to help you, that you can make a difference in the life of someone else today. You could do it maybe in your neighborhood, someone in your neighborhood, a phone call, speaking to someone, a loved one or family member. Maybe it's a family member that you haven't talked to in quite some time. I'm thinking I found out about the birthday of someone that's happening today. And that birthday is of a cousin of mine who is Down syndrome. His name is Jason. And I sure love Jason, and he's a few years younger than me, but I love my Uncle Bill and Aunt Barbara. And we sent them a happy birthday greeting for Jason. And then I think about them. I think about other people that have encouraged us along the way, who've had other problems in their life too. And so let's take advantage of what God has put into our life, and let's use it for His honor and glory. Anything else y'all like to add?
I just want to pray for y'all, and I'm trying to concentrate, and I love each and every one of y'all, and I'm praying for y'all very much.
And she wants you to stay out of trouble.
Yes.
So stay out of trouble.
Yes, stay out of trouble.
Keep your nose clean.
Yes, keep your nose clean.
Yes, and and don't buy any wooden nickels.
And don't buy any wooden nickels.
Wooden nickels
right.
as well. Ms. Kate, you got anything you'd like to say?
Just look for somebody to encourage today. It will help you.
That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
That's right. Well, we love you. Thank you so very much.
Yes.
Please keep us in your prayers. And we've got such a great opportunity today for
That's
God's
right.
people to let the world know that God has everything in control.
Right.
Keep praying for our president, all the
Yes.
task force, and all of our city officials, state officials as well, and especially our churches. And
That's
pray for your
right.
pastor, and hold him up and your family in prayer. A lot of pastors have been affected personally themselves
Yes.
with the virus, and we need to continue to hold them up in prayer. And then, of course, multiple problems continue to go on in other people's lives as well. God's good. He's good.
All the time.
And all the time,
God is good.
God is good. He certainly is. We love y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Take care.
Should we get up and turn it off now?
How you doing, Haywood?
Doing good.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I think we're done.
I think we're
I
done
think so.
too.